niece starting today.
What did you just say?
I said, we're taking care of my niece. You're a housewife, so you can take her too, okay?
When my husband came home, I found his niece in his arms. She is not very expressive, and being only 5 months old, she doesn't take much milk. When I asked him how my sister-in-law was taking care of her, he just said that I had to figure it out on my own. After a while, I called my mother to get her contact information. What she told me was unexpected. I see. I finally understood what was going on. I'm his wife, and he's taking advantage of me. My name is Chloe. Before I married my husband, Justin, I worked as a daycare teacher. I resigned from my job when I got married. Now I support my husband as a homemaker. My husband, Justin, works for a startup company and leaves the house at 7 a.m. every morning. I thought that if possible, I would like to continue working and save money for my children. However, 1 month before we were to marry, he suddenly said,
Chloe, I'm sorry if this is selfish, but if we get married, will you quit to become a housewife?
Housewife? Why?
So you can focus on things around that are important to you. I can work even harder if I'm comfortable at home.
Well, I think we should both keep C until we have kids.
I know, but I want my wife to stay. I'll give you enough money every month. What do you say?
There was no space for me to say no. He was so serious. I always liked doing housework to be so, just said yes. That's how I ended up becoming a full-time housewife upon my marriage. For the second time in a row, I received money from my husband. I decided to talk to him about it one dinner.
Hey, I need to pay the rent soon, and I'm thinking of going to the hairdresser tomorrow. So, can I have the money for this more?
Oh, about that.
Why?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by but I can certainly help with any spelling or grammar mistakes.
Is that so?
I don't know.
Okay, got it.
After that, even though I tried, I into my savings frequently. But one day, I began to feel uncomfortable with my husband's behavior. At first, it didn't bother me, and I think anything of it. My husband started working late because he wanted to increase his salary. He always came home before 7 p.m., but sometimes he would come home after 7. And then one day, my husband didn't until after midnight. I was so worried that I called him, didn't answer the phone at all. He had never been this unresponsive. What if it was an accident? A bad premonition came over me and started to beat faster. If he doesn't come home by tomorrow, and I'll call the police. Just as I was thinking that, I heard door open. I went running to the door as fast to I make sure my husband was safe. But then my eyes were caught by an extraordinary sight.
What? What is that, baby?
In my husband's arms was a tiny baby. I guessed she was around 6 months. But why would he be holding a baby? I have no clue. As I was completely baffled, my husband said something that I couldn't believe.
This is my niece. She is my sister. We're gonna take care of her from...
What did you just say?
I said we're taking care of her. Her name is Willow. She's 5 months, think. I'm counting on you, Chloe.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I don't understand this.
My husband suddenly came home with a 5-month-old baby in his arms. He said she's my sister-in-law's child. But I believe my sister-in-law followed her husband on his job transfer and is now in California. I had no idea what was going on, so for an explanation...
Hey, please explain it to me. I thought your sister was in California for her husband's work.
Well, I heard they got divorced.
Really? She came to our wedding with her husband, who seemed to get along so well with everyone else. Getting a divorce when the baby is months old?
Don't ask me. I'm not them, you know. Anyway, my sister's divorced now and back here for work. So she wants us to take care of Will. Her salary is stable.
Oh my gosh. Wait, what about your mom? Wouldn't it be easier for your sister's baby to stay with your parents?
Then my husband opened his mouth with a stuttering voice and an expression of displeasure on his face.
Actually, my sister hasn't told us about the divorce yet. She said she'll tell them herself when she gets settled.
But that doesn't mean we have care of the baby, right?
I know, but my sister is going through a tough time right now. Besides, she left Willow with us for a reason.
What do you mean?
You were a daycare teacher, weren't you? Good with babies, right? And you're a housewife now. You have time during the day.
What's that supposed to mean? I have free time because I'm a house, don't get it.
You know what I mean. Come on, Chloe.
My husband forced me to have a balloon sneaked into the house. I thought we were going to talk about that now. But he started drinking beer without any knowledge of the world.
Justin, are you kidding me?
I raised my voice and my niece Will to cry aloud. My husband didn't seem to be helping me, so I asked him in frustration.
Hey, where are the diapers? She's,
What did you say? I didn't bring anything.
you didn't keep any of her baby from your sister?
I don't think so.
Are you kidding me? Then what the hell are you gonna do with it?
I don't know.
My husband got upset and kept drink. Beer, 24-hour pharmacy. I got her some diapers, baby formula, bottles, and wipes. Her skin looked so dry, I thought she needs some moisturizer too. I put everything in the basket and went to the checkout counter. I hurried home, changed her diaper, and gave her a bath. And she finally calmed down. I used to be a daycare teacher, so I took care of her right away, but I was still confused by the situation. At that point, it was already past. While I was giving Willow a bath, I already went to bed. The next morning, when I saw that she was sleeping, I woke my husband up.
Hey, Justin, wake up?
What's that? What do you mean? I was late last night, so I need more sleep.
Don't be silly. It's your day off. Willow needs some clothes. She doesn't have anything to wear.
What? Why?
It's getting colder. Why is she wheel underwear?
Don't tell me. My sister gave her to that.
Don't be irresponsible. Anyway, I'll even get her some in a hurry. Don't let her out of your sight.
I told my husband, who was still hurried to a nearby shopping mall. There, I bought some clothes and toys and hurried home again. As I opened the front door, I heard cries. I rushed to the living room to find on the sofa, crying hysterically. My husband was standing next to her with his phone. He was enjoying watching a video without paying attention to Willow.
What are you doing, Justin?
She suddenly started crying.
Why don't you go to her then? She's crying so much. Don't you care enough to hold her down?
Why are you so angry? It's not a bit. Now that you're home, give her some.
Don't make me do everything. I'm paying for everything out of my own pocket, not only today, but for the past few years. Will you give me that money back?
Well, that's...
Enough. This situation is ridiculous.
I'm a former childcare worker, but there are still some things I don't know. How much milk does he drink? How much S gets, and what kind of things she eats? If I'm going to take care of Willow, I at least want to meet her needs and be responsible. In order to do that, I need to know how sister-in-law treats her. But when I ask my husband for her CC information, he refuses to give it. After all, he became a little angry, yelled at me.
Why don't you ask your sister yourself?
Are you being serious? Willow's now in a place where she's not used to. It's only fair to ask her mother what her lifestyle was like.
I don't give a shit about that. Regular feedings and diaper change is all you need to know. Anyway, just do whatever you have till my sister comes to get her.
Seriously? What the hell, Justin?
My husband sighed loudly and got up sofa. He grabbed his wallet and phone and out of the house. Unbelievable. So irresponsible. What is he thinking? When he took her home here? I need to take care of my niece in secure environment. I decided to contact my mother-in-own help, although my husband said she still knows about my sister-in-law's divorce. Now is not the time to worry about that. After putting Willow to bed, I called my mother-in-law.
Hello? Hi, it's me, Chloe.
Oh, hi, Chloe. It's been a while. Willow, who had been sleeping, let out a small cry in response to my voice. My mother-in-law heard it and opened her mouth in surprise.
Chloe, I just heard a baby crying.
I'm sorry. That's why I called you. I have some questions I'd like to ask about this baby, Willow. Can you tell me your daughter's contact information?
My daughter. What will she do with my daughter?
Because Willow is her child? That's what Justin said when he brought home.
No, that can't be true. My grandchild has a girl, but she's years old and my daughter's family overseas trip.
What?
My mother-in-law's words messed up. It's too different from what I'm used to.
Oh, is your daughter divorced?
When I asked her the most important, she denied it with surprise.
Divorced? No way. They just visited month for vacation. There's no way she's divorced.
At that moment, the trust I had built up in my husband began to collapse. Everything he said about his niece. At the same time, I had a lot on my mind. My mother-in-law seemed to feel that she had been slighted and asked me in a trembling voice.
Chloe, did Justin bring the baby to you? And he told you it was his niece.
I know. I'm sorry. I think I need some research. I don't expect the results to be very accurate.
I know. I heard you. I'll keep my mouth shut until we know we're dealing with.
After I finished talking to my mother, I hurried to check the detective agency. With Willow there, I couldn't take to visit the agency in person. I found out that I could request an investigation remotely. I immediately requested a background check on my husband. For a few weeks, I kept my composure. My husband was always home after Mick if he didn't want to see me. A week later, a representative from agency came to my house with the investigation. The result was something I had expected, of course. Sure enough, my husband was having an affair every night on his way home from work. He would stop by his partner's house. The detective told me that Willow was probably the child of the affair. My husband took advantage of his experience as a daycare teacher and left with me because he didn't want to be disturbed. I couldn't stop being angry at my husband's selfish and despicable behavior. I waited for him to come home that after midnight. A few hours later, my husband showed up with a bouquet of flowers and a box of chocolates. I took the opportunity to tell him.
Welcome home. Did you enjoy your tenure mistress?
What? What did you say? Well, you're talking about...
I already know everything.
What's up with that?
I confronted my husband with the physical evidence of the affair. I could see his face turn pale and obviously upset.
When did you take those pictures?
I called your mother to get your sister's contact information. She surprised me.
Your sister is not divorced, and she is currently abroad with her 3-year-old daughter.
No. This is not a good idea.
What? She's not divorced and has a 5-month-old daughter. Is that right? Willow's yours, isn't she? You and Mistress...
Wait a minute. I've been careful. She tricked me.
He's making up excuses as if it's no fault.
She was the one who came on to me having fun. It was nothing serious. I don't even know if Willow's really real.
My husband told me he was sorry and asked for my forgiveness. I was so disgusted by him that I felt welling up inside me. I said to him forcefully,
You've got to be kidding me. Do you really think I don't know if she's mine or not? Don't be irresponsible, then get a DNA test or something I'm one telling you, even if it wasn't child, I won't forgive you. You cheated on me and betrayed me.
Chloe, calm down.
No, there's nothing more to talk. You betrayed not only me, but also Yo and sister.
I apologize. I'm sorry. So please,
Why should I calm down? You and your mistress don't even understand any parental responsibilities.
My husband keeps apologizing over and over again with tears in his eyes, but it hasn't changed my mind. This man has done the worst thing to wife. It took a long time, but I divorced my husband. I also demanded alimony from him, but he paid me only a lump sum payment. Justin and his mistress got into a dispute over alimony. Because of this, they began to argue and eventually ended their relationship. Of course, his mother and sister did not give him any help. He lied and cheated on his wife and take care of the baby he made with woman. No woman could forgive him for what he's done. As for Willow, she was taken care of mother's parents' house. When I was saying goodbye to her, Willow smiled at me for the first time. She is the child of my husband and with whom he had an affair. Normally, I would have felt hatred, but strangely enough, I didn't. The child was innocent. It's the adult who is to blame. I'm divorced and living alone now. Still think of Willow from time to time. There may be times in the future when we will be in trouble because our parents won't be around, but I hope that she will grow up strong, resilient in the face of hardship. That's all I can hope for now.
we're taking care of my